so that you guys can hear me. Alright, hello everyone. I'm Tridenttail, and we're going to be doing some Diddy Kong racing today, some 100%. Alright, so yeah, let's get going. Actually, wait 1 second. No, we're good. Alright. So, yeah, 3, 2, 1, go.
Cry havoc and let slip the hogs of war.
Totally forgot that was there. My bad. Alright. So yeah, Diddy Kong Racing 100%. In this category, we're going to be getting everything. All 47 gold balloons. All pieces of the TT amulet. All pieces of the Wizpig amulet. All 5 gold trophies. All 4 keys. What else?
Gonna be doing all 4 mini games that you get with the key.
Right. So yeah, so I'm tridenttail, and luckily I've got a co-commentator helping me out because it's hard to play and talk at the same time. I've got Dr. Fish.
Hello, everybody.
Alright, so we had a nice little cutscene. First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk to Taj and switch the plane. And there's 4 balloons in the overworld, so we're just going to fly around and grab those first.
Yep. So we have 2 balloons that'll be, or we'll have 2 balloons located on this side of the island. One here in the water, and then there's going to be another one that's going to be up above in the log section. They're a little tricky to actually locate, but Trident does manage to get them very nicely sometimes. That second one's a bit of a pain. And here we've got the trophy, or the balloon above the waterfall rainbow, and then one as we grab and we go into Dino Domain, which is the first section of Diddy Kong Racing. So we now have 4 balloons, which means we're able to do all courses. So we're going to enter Jungle Falls first, and from Jungle Falls we're going to restart the race because doing the cutscenes for the first races pretty much lose a lot of time. So it's always best just to restart. Jungle Falls is actually very technical track. It looks very short, very small, but it's very technical. Learning when to drift and kind of when just to use your normal controls for turning. So you'll be drifting with the R button. He'll be drifting with the R button on his N64 controller. It looks like he's on pretty solid pace here for what we would expect, what to expect for things. Ooh, bit of a rough time there, but no worries, you'll be fine.
So I went for a cutscene skip there. It's possible to pause on the last frame of the race, and you can actually exit out to the lobby, and then you don't have to watch this cutscene skip with Taj. It's, like I said, it's a 1-frame trick, and there's 40 of them in the game, so we're gonna try and get as many as we can.
Yeah, and one thing to note, that we are using music for this, and the music in this game is awesome. So here, and this is Ancient Lake, a very short track. Most of the tracks here in Dino Domain are relatively short, with Ancient Lake and Jungle Falls. Fossil Canyon, which you'll be seeing after this track, is a bit of a longer track. It has a couple of tricks that I'll be explaining, but pretty much. And also here in Ancient Lake, we do grab the key, which will work towards the mini game. But yeah, the reason that if you've ever seen an all trophy race before, which we're actually currently in the middle of an all trophy race tournament at the moment, that they don't use music in it because music in most sets, and here we go, he does successfully get the cutscene skip, which is awesome. Very good job. You'll see that the music does slightly lag the game, but honestly, for runs like this, because we are resetting at certain points, it's kind of more good just to keep the music. Here we go, onto Fossil Canyon.
Yeah, I actually got the cutscene skip on that last race, so you got to see what that was all about. We're gonna try and do that as much as we can. There's a cool trick here called Canyonless. Gonna try and get this blue balloon and hit the zipper at the same time and chain them both to launch myself into the canyon there.
Boom. He does get the canyonless trick, however. Blue. Ideally, you want to grab that second blue balloon. But no worries. And here we're going to see the pond jump, which is pretty nice. Ideally, you can sometimes fling yourself into the little cave section there. Ooh, grabs that nicely. So, honestly, this is a pretty good Fossil Canyon considering the blue balloon did get missed there. I want to say your ideal time is going to be somewhere around a minute to like 102, 101. But just with a couple balloon misses, you can see just how the time can go down. We do see another cutscene skip there. So again, skipping the balloon, the giving of the balloon cutscene. Heading into Hot Top Volcano, where we'll be seeing our first out of bounds trick that will be used in this run. So he's gonna take this balloon, and as you guys see, he goes right into the lava there. In the lava, if you go through enough, you can actually glitch yourself out of bounds. And the only thing you got to do from here is just keep yourself in bounds and hit all your checkpoints, and you will be able to have a pretty fast hot top. This looks to be on pretty good pace, honestly.
Yeah, this is not bad.
Yeah.
On the last lap here, typically you'll see us just stay out of bounds and finish the track like this, but I do want to go for that cutscene skip. So I'm going to go back in bounds here, hit these two zippers, and then it'll be a little bit easier to grab that.
Yep. Oh, and he does get it. You saw him pause one frame too early, but luckily he was able to just pause, unpause, same frame, crosses the finish line, gets the skip. And here we are at Tricky, the Triceratop, the first boss, the boss of Dino Domain. You're going to see try and go for a very neat skip that I'm not quite sure when it was discovered, but...
This is actually the most recent trick that was discovered in the game. I'm going to try and get it and then hopefully explain it afterwards.
Okay. We'll see this here. He's gonna pretty much just start right away. Just go to the back, and hopefully he gets it here. So just...
Oh, come on, game. Wow, okay. This game's not being very nice to me right now.
No, it is not being very nice to you right now. What he's supposed to do is he's gonna hit the corner, and hopefully that's gonna trigger. That's hopefully gonna trigger it to think that you've hit some form of a cutscene. I think he did get it here, but he's getting the wrong way going this way. Then he should just finish it right there. Boom.
So basically how this works is this track is very unique in that there's no laps. It's just start to finish, and it has a spiral-like map. And there's checkpoints that are beyond the finish line that actually stretch to the beginning of the track there. So by driving behind the starting line, you can actually confuse the game into thinking you're at a different checkpoint than you actually are. And you know you get the trick right when you see the wrong way pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that the game thinks that you're at a later checkpoint, and then by driving up the course, you will actually meet the checkpoint that corresponds with the finish line, and then confusing the game into thinking you actually finished when you've only drove like an eighth of the way up.
Alright, so here we see Fire Mountain, the first minigame of the the game, where you have to grab these eggs and bring them to your nest and hatch them. The goal is you need 3 of them. And yes, I agree, the Tricky is pretty cute. I think most of the bosses in this game are pretty cute, honestly. And they all have pretty cool names too. We have Tricky the Triceratops there. We have, you'll see Bluey the Walrus in Snowflake Mountain. We have, Blowy?
Bubbler.
Bubbler the Octopus, sorry. Bubbler the Octopus and Smokey the Dragon. And they'll be in their Sherbet Island for the Octopus and Dragon Forest for the Dragon, which is kind of cool.
So someone is asking if that skip on Tricky works with other bosses, and it doesn't, because, like I said, the Tricky race is unique in that it's there's no laps, and it's got that spiral-like map.
Yeah.
So
here
it's not really possible on other tracks.
So now what Trident's going to be doing is doing the Silver Coin Challenge for each and every course in Dino Domain, starting with Jungle Falls, then to Ancient Lake, then Fossil Canyon, Hot Top Volcano. This is, I think it's just about the only time that you don't go for the, it's literally the only time you don't go for the out of bounds on lap 1 on Hot Top. It's to get all the coins. And then you go out of bounds the next lap, or whenever you finish getting all of them. And Ancient and the Silver Coin locations usually take you a bit off track, so you'll notice you won't be going quite as fast. However, Ancient Lakes is pretty much just the simplest version of a Silver Coin Challenge because it's the first coin challenge. So here you go. He got all the coins by lap 1. Now he's gonna go take this little shortcut to grab that blue balloon, and so he should be on track to have pretty fast Ancient Lake from here.
Yeah, and that's the typical strategy, is to get all 8 coins on the first lap so that you can just, like, get back to your usual route in the second and third laps.
Man, you're really pulling off the skips here, man.
Yeah,
Really nice.
I was mad that I missed the first one, so now I have to actually prove that I know how to play the game.
Nah, Trident's a really good player. Trident's currently in the, I guess, the semifinals for the ATR challenge, the ATR tournament, as he got a win on, I believe, Friday afternoon over Haba in a pretty good race. So yeah.
So this is a difficult coin to grab, that one right there.
The pond jump.
I missed it, so I have to get it the third lap, otherwise I'll... oh, that's not good.
Ooh.
You know what, actually, since this is already bad, I'm just gonna grab that coin.
Alright. So, a lot of times, you'll see situations where players will have to go and get the coins that they didn't get, which does lose a little bit of time, but it's well worth it because you don't want to have to redo the course. And it's very nice on that pond jump to grab coin.
It's always a pain when you miss that twice in a row, because then no one wants to turn around to grab a coin.
Exactly. Here we go. He got the skip without having to double pause, or without double pausing. Perfect timing. ATR is all trophy races, which you will do. All trophy races, which is where those 2 people, or where you go into the track section, and you get to do all trophy races. You get to do the trophy races, so you get to do all of them.
So as you can see, bonking in the plane is the absolute worst. You lose all your speed and your height. That was like 10 seconds lost right there.
That really was. ATR is all trophy races. It's a category that the players compete in. Here we go. He did get all the coins, so now he's going to go and do the out of bounds for Hot Top and just go on for the next 2 laps and do the out of bounds. But again, on the last lap, he's going to exit and get the last 2 zippers so he can get an easier time to get the cutscene skip. And also one thing that you notice on Fire Mountain when he did the challenge for that, where he actually had to watch the cutscene, and I think that's almost for every single challenge, like for all the 3 other mini games. Yeah, I might be wrong.
No, I didn't have to watch the one in Fire Mountain because I missed the one in Jungle Falls. So
okay.
Yeah, you can, because you watch that one cutscene because you watch that one cutscene, they're all the same, so I can just skip them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
From here on out.
But the main goal is not to miss one the main goal is to not miss one in Dino Domain until Fire Mountain, because the Fire Mountain one is extremely faster, so you save about 4 seconds. So here we go. Tricky number 2. He's going to go for the same exact strategy. Hopefully get it first try. And
hopefully better than fourth try.
Yeah, so he did miss it there. You also see he gets a wrong wing on that walk, so you're gonna get a wrong wing on there. Yeah. Oh, he did get it?
Yeah, we got it second try. So,
Perfect.
like I said, there's a checkpoint that you have to hit there. But the problem is that it actually oscillates on every frame. So you can do the trick properly, but you can hit the wrong frame. So it's a really dumb trick because you can perform it correctly and still not get it. So yeah, there's both a performance element and an RNG element. It's fantastic. But we got it second try, which is much better than the first one. Oh,
Definitely.
I'm actually supposed to reset here.
Okay, yeah. So, in all the talking, Trident forgot that when you finish out that race, you actually reset your console, but which is a couple second loss.
This is why I can't talk and play at the same time.
Okay, yeah. So I'll.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. So. Also, the main reason and the reason that we have the clock TT as our character is because, and you actually unlock TT by going through the time trial section, and you have to complete every single time trial and for once through it and get a certain time, and then you actually have to race TT's ghost, and if you beat that and you do it for every single track, you will unlock TT, which includes Future Funland, which will be the last section. A lot of people might not even know about that section if they don't know most of the game. But here we see Trident flying around doing the car challenge. So there's 3 challenges that Taj issues you, 1 for each vehicle, 1 for car, 1 for plane, 1 for hover. I believe it goes in about that order. But also you see here Trident, instead of going around and just hitting the finish line there, he actually takes he has to go ahead and go right to the middle because you can do that a lot faster. And then he transformed into plane, and he'll be going to Snowflake Mountain, which is a snow world.
And it's really hard. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yes, the snow world is a very difficult world to do. And you'll see in a second here.
This laggy mess.
Yeah. This is the laggy mess that is Frosty Village. And the reason that this track lags a lot more than the others is because not only is there music playing with zipper lag, but there's also the snowflake effect, which also lags the game. While it does look nice visually, especially for the fact that this game came out in November of 97, I believe.
Yep.
So yeah. This is Frosty Village, a pretty, it can be very difficult in a very unforgiving car track, but the music is pretty nice. I think this game has some of the best music. N64 games tend to have some really good music, and that shield there really helps save him from that oil slick. If Trident had gone on the oil slick, that's a pretty major loss depending on which way it flings him. Hopefully it would just fling him forward, but we don't actually know if it would have done that. That's a lot of the good thing about the shield, the shield pickup. Although he did end up missing the second zipper, but if he gets it here, he does get it here. Yeah, so for a pretty tricky track, Trident did get a 1:14, which is a pretty solid time. Probably wanted better, but can't always get that, especially with lag.
And I got the skip, which is like really
Amazing.
hard on that track because of the lag. If you pause and you don't get it the first frame, it's like nearly impossible to buffer it.
Yep. So here we go, Snowball Valley, a short kart track, but definitely cause problems. You see the snowballs going down there. If you don't, I think unless you have the shield, and maybe even with the shield, you'll have a difficult time. Also, Snowball Valley is the home of the second key, and that's the Snowflake World key. So you'll have access to Icicle Pyramid, which is a very neat. I think it's a pretty neat section. You did see him actually get squished by the snowball, but luckily he was boosting. If you are boosting and you get squished, you still go through with your boost at the same exact speed. But you know, you're just small. Yeah, so either boosting through getting squished or having a shield for getting squished helps the most. And there we go, a 51 time. And we now have access to Icicle Pyramid, which will come in handy later once we start doing trophy races.
So this is the first inbounds plane level we're going to see, and it's actually quite challenging.
Yes. Everfrost Peak.
It's a good track, though.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty neat, pretty fun track. I'm awful at it. I'm not very good quite at the game, but it's always fun to watch someone like who's in the upper half of DKR players, of Diddy Kong Racing players, doing this track, especially if they're good at playing. And one trick for playing is that Trident doesn't actually want to press A almost at all in this track. He's going to be primarily moving with barrel rolls, which you'll see here, where he's double pressing R with his directional stick, which is actually the fastest mode of moving in there. So when you see moments where it looks like he's losing his speed, it's because he's not accelerating, but he's going to be moving and chaining boosts almost the entire time around Everfrost. So when something like that happens, where you miss a ground zipper, you can really lose some time. And sometimes ground zippers are very difficult to have a registration, especially on plane. And sometimes even in car, which is kind of what you're supposed to use the ground zippers in. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed that zipper, but okay.
Don't know how he missed the zipper. And sometimes balloons have some pretty sketchy hit registration. So, unfortunately, he misses the skip there. But
yeah, that started off really good, but
yeah, it
didn't end
happens.
so great. But
Here's
this could
Walrus.
be going much worse.
Oh, definitely could be going much worse. Especially if you didn't get, especially if it took a long time for tricky skip. That really puts you behind. Here we go. Walrus Cove, pretty fun car track. I don't know.
Hello?
Oh man.
We're good. Everybody chill out.
Yeah. Okay. So that's some good maneuvering to stop from hitting the ice. If you hit the ice, what's gonna happen is he's gonna bounce towards the location with which he, like the last part of land that he touched. The question in chat just come up: is the Japanese cartridge faster because of text? I want to say it is.
It's not because of text.
Okay.
The versions are like almost identical. The reason why we use the Japanese version is because there's one additional out of bounds clip that you can perform that you can't in the North American version.
Yeah.
Or the PAL version for that matter.
Or the PAL version, yeah.
And there's also another, we haven't talked about it yet because it hasn't come up, but when we start doing the wrong warps, there's one additional outcome that is not available on the other versions.
Yeah. So you'll notice, and if it occurs, Trident will explain it, or myself will explain it. We're not actually quite to the point where we actually are doing trophy races. Right now we're entering and gonna race Louis the Walrus and the Snowflake Mountain boss. I like that he has a bow tie. Bow ties are cool.
They are cool.
Yeah. So yeah, like he said, I guess Japanese version is really different, mainly because of the Spaceport Alpha out of bounds, which we won't see until Future Funland. Yeah. Ooh, that's a really nice balloon grab there. I didn't even know that balloon was there. See, even someone who has played this game quite a bit didn't even know that that blue balloon was there. So yeah, and when he's boosting, you'll actually notice that when he's boosting, he's getting the green effect, which comes from not pressing the A button. The reason that I don't know if you can hear it, the reason that he'll be mashing his A button, is because it actually gives you a little bit of a boost, a slight boost, because because it'll constantly think you're constantly accelerating, so it'll give you higher speeds off of that. And here we go. He does complete it. He does reset here. And if I believe from this point you're gonna be going to Sherbert, or no, doing the hover. He's gonna do the hover challenge, and then he's gonna do Sherbert Island.
That's correct. Yep.
And you'll notice that for Sherbert Island and for Snowflake Mountain, he is not doing the silver coin challenges right away, because we'll come back to those later once we start doing trophy races.
Do you want to kind of touch on hover mechanics?
Of course. So you're noticing when he's using hover, he's actually going back and forth in his hover cart, and you'll notice it also in the other race. The reason he's doing that is because when you're turning left and right, it actually accelerates you slightly. So to constantly be going back and forth, a mechanic which we call snaking. Yeah. Oh, a clip-on? I actually don't know. I would hope it's not a clip-on bow tie. But yeah, regardless, we're going to be going back and forth with the hover track snaking, because it actually helps get the maximum speed better, which the maximum speed on hover is 90, I want to say kilometers per hour. So yeah, the hover challenge can actually be slightly tricky because of having to go through the waterfall and kind of just having to know where that entrance is. But Trident all 3 times got it very nicely. So we're gonna see him go straight across the middle, kind of go finish up, grab the balloon from Taj, and he's gonna make his way over. Oh, sorry.
I'm actually going to finish on land there, and there's actually a reason for that, because if you finish on the water, which I think is what's intended, you actually can't grab the balloon until the balloon floats over land. So yep. I'm just going to finish land and then spawn the balloon there so I can quickly grab it right away.
Yep. You saw him drive over there to Sherbert Island, which is mostly a water course. And here we go. One of the 2 car tracks. There's actually 2 car tracks and 2 hover tracks in Sherbert Island. This is Treasure Caves, a course which many people, myself included, and probably Trident also, don't really like that much.
This is the worst track in the game.
It's pretty awful. It's really fast. So
very inconsistent.
And there's no real good spot to use that blue balloon. Trident chooses to use it there, and it's pretty nice if you can get a boost and then chain between this zipper that's outside of the cave and the one inside the cave, which he does twice here, so he gets 2 out of 3.
41 is actually really good.
Yeah, 41's really good. In the race that he had, I believe race 1, or was it race 2? I don't know, but you actually PB'd your Treasure Caves with a 37.97, which is insane. In a really good time. So here we go. The first water track of adventure mode for 100% is Pirate Lagoon, which is very much about turning and just making nice crisp turns. A little bump there. You can see if you bump there, it's going to be difficult to get to the zipper there, to the hover zipper, which is shaped kind of like a triangle. You'll notice that on all the hover tracks, and the plane ones will usually be shaped like more of a square, or more of a circle rather. And a quick note about the hover and plane zippers is that when you enter them, it's going to want to reposition you to be going the direction of the zipper, so it's pretty important for maintaining your speed and maintaining time that you try and take it as squarely with the zipper as possible, so you don't get repositioned, and try to do a really good job there in getting the cutscene skip.
That one's really difficult, actually. There's a lot of lag around the finish area, and you're boosting into the finish line, so it can be quite difficult. And I'm actually kind of surprised that I was able to buffer it.
That's awesome. So here we go. Here's Crescent Island.
Great track.
Yeah, Crescent Island's an amazing track. I love Crescent Island. It's really testing on drifting and everything. Especially in this area. You see what he's taking these sharp turns. At least on that first entrance into the bottom part of the ship, he's taking a very sharp turn in there too, where he's pressing his brake. So your B button in DKR is actually a brake. And we're gonna see this section here, because Crescent Island, you know, we have all these other sections for courses, but they always have to put the key, besides Dino Domain, besides Ancient Lake, in like the most difficult and tricky spots to find them. But Trident and most people who run this category will know where every single one of them are. So that's the location to get you to Darkwater Beach, which is the mini game for Crescent Island. It's actually a pretty fun game. And you do it in
wow,
because
okay.
you're gonna hover. Ooh. Okay. So sometimes the AI, and we haven't mentioned this because the AI really hasn't been much of a bother so far, but the AI can tend to be pretty bad there. He gets a 121, which considering that he has to get the key there, it's a pretty good time. So now we have access to Darkwater Beach, but we're gonna go to our last track, which is the shortest hover track, Whale Bay, which is the first track of the trophy race for this. So usually when we do all trophy race, the first hover well, at least in the all trophy race tournament, it's Whale Bay is the first hover track,
Depending which where you start.
Yeah.
This is not going well so far.
No, unfortunately.
Missed a couple of blue balloons.
So again, he's using his snaking here to be moving as fast as he can. Yeah, and Whale Bay is a really fun hover track. I think hover has the most fun tracks in the game, honestly. Between Whale Bay, Pirate Lagoon, and Boulder Canyon, which we'll see later in Dragon Forest. I think Boulder Canyon being my favorite hover track to watch. Not necessarily to play, but definitely to watch.
Yeah, I think Boulder Canyon is my favorite hover track.
Yeah.
Alright, so actually, like, pretty decent sherbet, not too bad.
Oh yeah, good sherbet. Now he's gonna face Bubbler the Octopus.
Yeah.
Who is... So this is, most of the challenges that you'll see are for the boss races. This is actually the first 3-lap race that you see. The Dragon Forest and Sherbet Island are the only two 3-lap race boss races. So definitely. So we actually have to go ahead and do all 3 laps. There is no skip for this. But once Trident completes this, he is going to reset his console again. And normally when you race this, if you stick behind Bubbler, he actually puts out spike balls in the first race that are meant to obviously try and trip you up. But unlike... And then we'll see a little difference when we go into the second time that we race him.
Yeah, it's much worse.
Around. It's a lot worse, because instead of spike balls, he puts, what you call it?
Bubbles.
Yeah, bubbles, yeah. Bubbles put out... Yeah, he'll have to put out his bubbles, which are pretty annoying. Bubbles is actually the is actually the third tier of green balloons. We don't usually use green balloons when we play, unless we're doing it for to intentionally lose certain mini games, which we'll see very soon. I think now we're gonna start doing trophy races. So from here, we're gonna go to Dino Domain, and we're gonna begin the Dino Domain trophy race.
But first, we're actually gonna do the
Plane challenge.
plane challenge.
Yep, sorry. Forgot about the plane challenge. I don't particularly care for plane as a vehicle. It is the most difficult of the three vehicles to learn at a high level. So yeah, Trident's going to be barrel rolling around and maneuvering very well because he's a much better plane.
Oh, I
player.
knew that was going to happen.
Ooh. Oh, so he gets a little bit of a bonk there, but the water, actually I think the water kind of helping a little bit, at least get you off the ground. Oh. And if you go to barrel roll and you're facing, if you're pulling forward or backwards on your stick, you'll do a front flip or a back flip respectively, which is not ideal. You want to be going left or right. But for the most part, at least for races, we're going to be using, as you guys have been seeing, just blue balloons and shield balloons. Oh man.
Wow.
Oh, okay, at least he skidded across the finish line. He does finish on land here because he'll get the balloon right away. Just like he did on... just like he did on the hover challenge.
Alright,
so
yeah, we never finished the trophy race here, so we're gonna do that now.
Yep, so we're gonna do the trophy race in Dino Domain. Watch your trophies, yeah. So this is gonna be where we see the first kind of big overarching trick of the whole 100% run, which you'll see once we get to Hot Top Volcano. Is going to be called the Wrong Warp trick. And so, but first off, we have to do all the other races. So we have to do Ancient Lake, Fossil Canyon, Jungle Falls.
Oh wow, okay. I see you.
Ooh, he gets tripped up on the dinosaur there. Dinosaur is not your friend. The dinosaur looks nice, but he's not your friend when he's walking in front of you and bonking it.
Yeah, I got stomped.
Yep. Alright. So on Fossil Canyon, lap 1, he doesn't go for the pond jump. Instead, you opt to grab these four bananas here.
And why do we grab the bananas?
Because when you're driving in a car, and on every vehicle, balloons or getting bananas have proven to make you actually go faster. So normally in car about 90 is the max speed, but with 10 balloons, ooh, that was almost close to hitting the top and having a bad bonk.
I wasn't even sweating it.
Nah, he wasn't sweating though. So yeah, getting 10 balloons, you go about 10% faster. Each balloon, we think, makes you go about 1% faster per balloon, and the max percent that you can go extra is 10. It's really cool. I think that's one interesting thing about this game. Oh, that was an interesting little canyon list. He didn't grab the blue balloon there, but he made a nice hop off of the ledge between the lower and upper section of the canyon. So here we go on to Jungle Falls. Again, super technical. Again, even though it's a short track, as Trident and others will probably say, it's definitely a technical track. It definitely puts to test your ability to almost because on most tracks and stuff you'll see people drifting quite a bit, but this course actually doesn't have a lot of drifting. Wow, that's a really nice lap too. A nice sub 12 lap. He's on insane pace right now, actually.
Yeah, 37's a really good time.
So he got the 37:44, 37 being a very good time for Jungle Balls.
Alright, so this is where things kind of get a little freaky. You guys have already seen this here before, but we're actually not going to finish this track. There's a mysterious loading zone underneath the starting line here. And it takes me back into the overworld. So
it takes him to the overworld. Oh.
Yeah. So what just happened? Like, I was in the trophy race, but now I'm here. I've completed 3 out of 4 races. The game actually still thinks that I'm in the trophy race. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here to this mini game, Darkwater Beach, and we're gonna win.
Oh, and that's a little note, is that you can actually be moving your cart while you're in the beginning of, I think it's every single one you can be moving before. In Fire Mountain, you really don't want to be moving because you just want to go straight forward. But yeah, as you guys see here, he's just going to constantly be going back and forth, grabbing this homing missile and shooting it, and hopefully be hitting people. I'm not sure if this sets the computer up in a certain way or not.
Nope. There's actually a strat that's very difficult, where when you move in a certain way, the AI should move the same every time, but it's very difficult to do. So you'll often see this camping strat where we just hover around this red balloon shooting homing missiles. Okay, so I won, and I get the second piece of the TT amulet, and now we're actually gonna go back in.
And note that this still thinks that we're in the trophy race.
Yes.
At this point.
Game still thinks we're in the trophy race.
So we've gotten 3 first place. 3 first place finishes. So what Trident's going to do here is he's going to intentionally lose. He's going to intentionally get a 4th place. And you'll notice that he'll do this on every single other race. He'll intentionally pretty much lose. Except for, I believe, Dragon Forest.
Right. So 3 first place finishes and a 4th place finish. That translates into a gold trophy. And it looks like it was in Dino Domain, but we actually got the trophy for Sherbet Island.
Yep.
And so that trick is called trophy storage, basically, because we're storing the trophy.
Yep. So now he's going to do the treasure caves. He's going to do the silver coin challenge for all of Sherbet Island. Starting with treasure caves, which, again, pretty bad track. But you're going to notice he won't be able to grab all the coins on one lap. He's actually going to come back on lap 2 and grab that final coin. But pretty much kind of do just about the same thing, except for maybe use his... But he's going to hold his boost until the end of the lap.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he didn't get a full boost. Oh no, did you actually not?
I actually missed that zipper.
You did miss the zipper. Oh, interesting. Sometimes, oddly enough, you can miss a zipper just because of like a bump texture or anything like that. It's most notable on Crescent Island. I say it's most notable on a certain Crescent Island zipper, which would be the second one of any specific lap. So here we go, Pilot Lagoon gonna go get all of the silver coins. They actually, again, like I mentioned before, they actually like to put silver coins pretty far out of the way on these tracks. Oh, okay, so he did get the bump boost there. He did miss that silver coin.
That's not a huge deal.
That's actually not a huge deal because he'll be going for, from here, he'll just grab that zipper, he'll grab that coin and then go for the zipper jump. I guess you can call it the zipper jump.
Okay, alright. I see you, game. It's fine.
So, usually the detection's pretty forgiving in this game. But just missed it twice, so he'll have to grab it here. And if he doesn't grab it, then he'll have to go back for it.
Ew, I don't want to do that.
And you don't want to do that. He wants to grab the coin here. Which he does. He makes sure he grabs the balloon. Takes a little time off, but it's not bad. Coin challenges are always going to have more time, except for maybe Ancient Lake. Ancient Lake seems to be pretty on par. And also, if you're noticing that my commentary is a little behind, it's because I'm also watching this on a very slight delay. Compared to actually what he's playing. So Crescent Island is for the Silver Coin Challenge, we actually have to go into the, we actually have to go into that tunnel for the first coin there. Yep, very nicely going and grabbing each of the individual coins. Like, again, another note of the game liking to put you in a bad situation for it, because they actually force you to go up and go down the top of the ship instead of just going around the side. So he's grabbed all the coins. And you'll note on that boost, on that specific part, especially on hills, that Trident's most likely slightly pressing down on his joystick just ever so much to get a little bit of extra height in the air, especially because it's pretty optimal to do that, especially on Crescent Island and Frosty Village.
Yeah, when you're in the air, it kind of locks your one sec. It kind of locks your speed. So
Yeah.
when you come off that zipper with a lot of speed and you take a sharp turn around that corner and you immediately launch yourself into the air, you can sort of lock into that boost speed and fly right down to the drawbridge there. It's kind of like hard to do when the music's playing because the music will cause a bit of lag on that zipper. But when we play with no music, you can like make it right down to the very bottom of that drawbridge. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll note that he's going up the whale for the first 2 laps on here. There's actually a silver coin that's on the right side, but we'll just grab it on the last lap instead of on the first lap. Some people will opt to grab it on the first lap. Trident opts to get it on the last lap.
Some people will go onto the ship and then drop right down onto that coin, but I don't do that.
I don't think it's very optimal. I think you either want to go for it.
No, it is optimal.
Really, it's more optimal to drop down
instead of going around the ship. You just go on top of the ship, but I've never tried it because if I'd get it on the 3rd lap, and if I missed the coin, then I'd have to like turn around and get it. So I just play it safe and drive around it. Yeah, music causes lag in this game. It's a very sad thing.
Yeah. It's also it causes lag in quite a few N64 games because of how the cartridges were made. That the music isn't like the music is something that'll. I don't know the exact explanation. All I know is that it lags it. I'm sure there's somebody who could explain why N64 games get lag, and I think it's based off how the audio is channeled into the game. Where is your Donkey Kong? Or your Diddy Kong? In DKR, in Diddy Kong Racing, just to do it the fastest character in the game is TT, the clock. He actually has the best hover speed and the best car speed. I think it's about the same for plane between TT and Drumstick. But Drumstick might be slightly better on plane.
Drumstick has faster barrel rolls, but his handling is a little tighter.
Yeah.
You'll generally only, people will only use Drumstick if they're doing, plain individual level times or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got a little too close to that bubble.
Oh! Yeah.
And as far as Diddy's concerned, I'm sorry to report, but Diddy's actually a bottom tier character. Very slow compared to some of the characters. I think he's like the 3rd slowest.
behind, I would say, what, Pipsy and
Tip Top.
Tip Top. Yeah. It's kind of interesting how the small, and there are the 3 smallest characters in the game. Well, TT's also pretty small, but TT's an unlockable. So, like, Drumstick and TT are the 2 unlockable characters, and they're both pretty good. So here we're gonna see Trident. He reset it. He reset again after beating the clock, or after beating the clock. What the heck?
Bubbler.
He beat Bubbler, and so he's gonna go back into Dino Domain. He's gonna do the trophy race again.
So I hope you guys like these tracks, because we're gonna see them a few more times.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see it at least 3 more times, I believe. Right? 3 more?
Yes, if you count this time, yeah.
Yeah, so this counts for the 3rd time, so you'll see it here for Snowflake Mountain. We'll see it, or no, yeah, here for Snowflake, and then again for Dragon Forest and Future, and then for Dino itself, there's actually a
oh wait, yeah, no, that's more than that.
There's 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4.
Because we still have to do Dino Domain.
So yeah, we do the wrong warp for the 3 we do wrong warp for the 3 other ones, and then we do and then when he gets to Dino, then he actually completes it for Dino Domain itself, which will be right before Future Funland. So yeah, see if you can get his canyon list. Actually, doing that canyon list trick is actually kind of difficult, because you have to be pretty good at counter drifting. We're not calling anybody a snowflake. Actually, the snow level is actually called Snowflake Mountain. So most of the time, I'll just call it Snowflake.
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, Snowflake Mountain. So we got some pretty good canyon. So 2 really good canyon lists. He's coming back around, and he's got a bit of a difficult situation with the AI meeting up with them right there. Yes. So Crunch is actually a pretty good character. The fastest character on Cart, I believe, is Banjo. Is Banjo fastest in everything except for besides TT?
If you don't have TT, I would recommend Banjo, Bumper,
or Crunch, right?
Crunch is fast, but his handling is a little, yeah, it's pretty tight. So maybe not the best option. But yeah, Timber, Banjo, Bumper, and Conquer are like pretty good.
Yeah.
Conquer has very similar handling to TT. He's just a little slower. So if there's a character that you kind of want to, if you kind of want to get a handle of TT's handling without actually, before you unlock him, then Conquer's probably a good character, because they handle very similarly.
So, interestingly enough for me, I actually think I did most of my TT times with Diddy, with Diddy, and mainly for the fact that his handling is pretty good. It's because TT times aren't that difficult to get. Oh, so
yeah, so things kind of just
got the trick. Oh my gosh, so everything just got super interesting. He actually just got the dragon plane.
So this warp, this warp is only possible on the Japanese version, which is one of the reasons why we use the Japanese version and why it's the fastest. So the game still thinks we're in the trophy race, but we're able to access this boss race early, and you're not going to see the effects of this trick right away, but this could potentially lead to a time save later, and we'll cover that. But this is very unlikely. It's about a 10% chance of happening.
Yeah, so he pretty much just got one of the craziest things that could happen in Diddy Kong Racing in a marathon.
It's pretty hype.
I'm not sure how often that 100% has been run in a marathon, but that's pretty crazy.
I don't think I've gotten it in a marathon run yet, and I've done a handful.
Okay. See, 100% is a category. I think 100%'s the best. I think it's the best category in Diddy Kong racing, honestly. It's boatloads of fun. It does take up about 2 hours to do. So you're gonna have to. So you really have to put some time commitment into it. However, it's really satisfying to do and everything. So there is actually a glitchless category for there's actually 100% glitchless, and that also works for something that. So like a glitchless category for someone like myself who only has the US 1.0, where I can't do wrong warp and I can't do spaceport alpha thing. So it's really, in essence, the only two glitches or clips that I can get would be Hot Top Volcano and Windmill Planes out of bounds. So we haven't seen Windmill Planes yet, but when we get there, I'll explain that trick. Because Triden's gonna need a lot of focus to get it.
Yeah, glitchless is basically just no out of bounds clips, no wrong warps, and no cutscene skips.
So you can't do any of them. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That actually would be a good category. That's actually
Oh, what am I doing?
Category.
We already did this. This is my mistake.
So
Alright.
he actually did Sherbet Island already. So he's gonna go back out and he's gonna go to Snowflake Mountain from here.
So someone's asking what's the significance of the game thinking we're still in the trophy race. So if you missed what happened in Sherbet Island, we're gonna do basically the same thing again here. So the game still thinks that I'm in the trophy race. So we're gonna come in here and do this mini game.
Do Icicle Pyramid. So there's one of two things that are gonna happen here. He's either gonna get this trick, and it's going to be, and he's gonna win. I think, did you get it?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
It looks good.
So it looks like he got the trick. The trick here, for Icicle Pyramid,
nice.
You do a certain combination of inputs before you run the shortest trophy race. Yes, and then at the end of it, you will warp out of Hot Top Volcano, which you saw, and there's usually two outcomes that happens. You either go to Dragon Forest in a car or Dragon Forest in a plane. If you get the Dragon Forest plane, which we actually saw him get, he was able to skip right through and go to Smokey the Dragon Race 1. So here we go. He's going to finish up Icicle Pyramid and he's going to intentionally lose. So he's going to get 4th place. And this actually counts towards his trophy race in, like he started in Dino. It actually counts as the Sherbet Island, it counts as a trophy race for Snowflake Mountain. So now he has 2 completed trophy races, and he didn't even have to do any of the races in the 2 completed realms. So we're gonna see the trophy races here.
So just as a recap, because like a lot of things just happened. To when I won Icicle Pyramid, I moved in a certain way where I basically baited all the CPUs to kind of congregate on the top level there, and then I was able to just camp around that red balloon, just firing missiles at everybody so that I could like finish it really fast. And that's actually quite difficult because you need to get to the top there in a certain way and you need to do it very fast. So it's very good that I was able to get that. And then as far as what happened on for the trophy storage, the game still thought that I was in the trophy race, and I won 3 out of 4 races. And oddly enough, when you do a mini game, it counts as a race. So 3 first place finishes and a 4th place finish automatically equates to a gold trophy. So that's how I was able to get that trophy. And when it played the cutscene, it actually showed the trophy in Dino Domain, but I did not get the trophy in Dino Domain. I actually got the trophy in Snowflake Mountain.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just explaining what happened there. We call it, the name of the trick is called trophy storage, because we're basically storing the trophy and getting it in another world.
Yeah. So Snowball Valley, in Snowball Valley, usually you don't actually go to the right here, but he's going to go to the right because there's actually a coin over here which you have to grab. And after that, he'll probably just be going and doing all the other laps as normal. A lot of times, like you just see, he wants to just grab all the coins that he can on lap 1, no matter what type of routing you actually have to take for it. So now he has all the coins, so he's good to just do his normal strategy for completing this as fast, for completing it pretty fast.
Keep snagging these walls.
Yeah, but everything's working out really well for this run, honestly. There you go, nice job boosting. Again, he boosted through getting squished, which keeps you out about the same speed. And he gets the cutscene skips again, both on Frosty Village, which Frosty Village, again, getting that twice is really good. Because Frosty Village being really laggy, if you miss that, it's super difficult to buffer your way into it, as was mentioned earlier. Here we go, Everfrost Peak for silver coins. So usually we're just gonna go take this. We're gonna take this part a little bit slower. We're not gonna be just going to try and zoom right through. And also, Everfrost Peak is one of those silver coin challenges that you can't complete in 2 laps if you want to keep going. If you just want to keep going forward, I mean, I guess you could, but that would take a significant time loss because in the second half of the track, 1 coin is on the top, 1 coin is on the bottom. So you're going to see him go for the upper. So he's going to get the coin on the upper section and take the double boost. And from here, he should just be smooth sailing, just doing a normal lap for Everfrost.
Oh no. Oh, okay. No, we're good.
Oh man, so weaving through the AI pretty nicely. A slight loss of speed and a slight time loss, but whatever.
Plane is difficult, people.
Yeah, plane is very difficult. The fact that he's doing this amazes me because I am not very good at plane yet. Getting even through a barrel roll, getting the skip, he's kind of boosting and barrel rolling there, which is really good.
Okay, so someone's asking why I'm tapping the A button, and I don't think we've talked about it, but I'm going to try and explain why that actually makes you go faster.
Okay.
So, when you play this game, Taj actually gives you a hint to let go of the accelerator before going over a zipper. And the idea is that it's because it makes you go faster. Now the reason why how zippers work in this game is the more speed you have going into a zipper, the more boost you'll get out of it. So when Taj gives you the tip to let go of the accelerator before, I keep forgetting that coin. When Taj gives you the tip to let go of the accelerator before going over a zipper, it's because when you let go of the accelerator, you actually get a little bump of speed.
Just to note, you missed the far tree, the first far tree coin.
Oh, okay.
So just grab that. This is also a good thing, having an extra person there that can help you something with that. So yeah, this coin here, if you're boosting through, you usually will miss it because you're boosting around and you're just trying to grab that. So you're gonna see he's gonna grab this last coin out here. Oh, he did it without eating ice. That was a slightly bad angle due to tapping B when he was turning.
Alright,
okay, he missed his buffer, but that's okay.
Yeah. So sorry, just going back to my explanation. So you're supposed to let go of the A before going over a zipper because it gives you a little bump of speed, so that you get more speed out of the boost. Well, we actually take that mechanic and we abuse it a little bit. by tapping A repeatedly, you're constantly getting that like bump in speed that you'd usually get when going over a zipper. So that's why we're constantly tapping A. Is to get that little bump of speed and like maintaining that. Mm-hmm. And it works in all vehicles, although in hover and plane it works slightly differently, but it still applies.
Yeah. There is no secret here for racing the walrus. You just race all the way to the bottom. Pretty straightforward. It looks like there's less. It does look like there's less blue balloons in this race.
Yeah.
So, if any at all. Ooh, I actually have a phone call really fast, so I'm gonna mute.
Okay, so when I first did this race, I tried to bump off this wall here, but it didn't work, but I'm going to try it again. Alright. So now we're finished with Snowflake Mountain, so we're actually going to go back to Dino Domain, and this time we're actually going to get the Dino Domain trophy. But first we need to talk to Taj. And we need to get our plane. Alright, so going back to Dino Domain, actually gonna finish the trophy this time.
Okay. So he's gonna do the trophy race again and go for the wrong warp in Hot Top. Ooh, so that's a neat little thing that you can get there on Ancient Lake. You can actually get both blue balloons, and you actually get a double boost, which is pretty good.
The only thing cooler than that is you can actually get the double single. So you use the boost right when you get it. It's like a 1-frame trick, and immediately after getting or using the boost, you go into the other balloon, and so we call it the double single because you basically get 2 single boosts back to back.
So that 37 is actually pretty good. Maybe not ideal, but pretty good. Because it looked like he had to slow down on lap 1 after getting the double boost to avoid the dino. Most times, at least for Trident, he's going to want to be getting like a 36 or lower on Ancient Lake. So, yes, he does still need the Dragon Trophy, which is why he is actually on this track, why he's actually doing this, because once he completes the 3 races here and does the wrong warp, when he ends up in Dragon Forest, he's actually going to just do he's just going to go ahead and do a track in Dragon Forest, which will actually also complete the trophy. Oh, pretty nice pace here for Fossil.
Yeah, this is pretty decent, although I missed 1 blue balloon, and I always miss this trick on the 3rd lap.
So...
Ooh, a nice bubble.
A little traffic. Ooh.
Alright.
So...
Well, this was good, but now that last lap made it really bad.
Yeah. So, 108 with some mishaps. Not a great time, especially for Trident. But it's okay.
I'm really shooting for like sub 106 every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was not a good puzzle taming for me. And this is turning out to be not a good Jungle Falls either.
Oh man, so he actually got thrown into the wall there, which really hurts on Jungle Falls. Ideally he wants to get about a 37 on it, 37, 38.
Might be a 40.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, this is bad.
So I think...
Not good.
Not good, but, the like if this was all trophy race, this wouldn't be amazing and it would be pretty bad. But honestly, just this being 100%.
Okay, we're still up.
Oh, okay, good.
That happens sometimes.
So that could have been really bad if he didn't get the clip there. Granted, it's not the worst thing because actually there's multiple places to clip in Hot Top Volcano.
Yeah, I would have done a backup. It would have. I mean, I still would have lost time, but it wouldn't have been too bad. But it's just a minor annoyance.
Yeah.
Getting shot down there.
Yeah. So there's two. So there's the second place to out of bounds glitch. There's actually a part of the track that's you go up a hill and then you go down. Well, that part of the lava there you can actually clip in a clip out of bounds in most of that section, I believe, because the lava has some pretty poor texture. So this is actually he actually completed the Dino trophy here. What he's gonna do is he's gonna go back and do the trophy again. So he's gonna go right back into the Dino trophy. So I hope you guys like these 3 levels a lot. These 4 levels.
Yeah, I apologize. How long would glitchless take? It's actually a fairly new category. It kind of came about when the tricky skip was discovered. But I think the fastest time is like just above 2 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas the world record in this category is 1:48. 1 hour 48 minutes.
I believe that's held by Obio.
Nope, by Giz.
No, Giz holds it. Oh wow.
Yeah. Mrs. Gizamaluk.
Mrs. Gizamaluk or is
Swedish runner.
That's-
Very talented.
Yeah. He holds the world record in quite a bit of RTA categories.
And he has the record in every major category. So 100%, any percent, and all trophy races.
Yes. The individual levels, because there's so many individual levels, like with every single, because when you do stuff like, when you do time trials and individual levels, one thing you'll see, and that's what can happen sometimes if you get too much air on the pond jump there, you'll bop the top. Just very good. Oh, and when he actually bumped into Banjo there, he got glitched slightly into the ground, which can happen. Your car will, like your wheel will get stuck in the ground. Luckily he was able to get out right away. But yeah, that can be very frustrating, very difficult. Yeah. So he did get the 105 despite the bump there. But it could have been better. Again, everything in this game most things in this game can be done better.
Yeah, I could be better. I could be, actually good at this game.
But this game, honestly, for a racing in this game, honestly, this is a super difficult racing game to learn because there's so many little mechanics and tricks that you have to do. Even just for time trial grinding in general, this is a very difficult game, especially when you get into plane. Car might be a little bit more easier to learn. Pretty good jungle falls there.
Yeah, it was a low 38. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the warp now.
Yep. He's going to go out down here. Oh, what happened?
There we go. We're good.
Oh, good.
And I get Dragon Plane again. Okay, so this is, you're gonna see all the things here. Usually we would go,
Wow.
usually we go do a race, but actually we're gonna go do this first.
Oh my gosh. A double Dragon Plane. This is insanely good.
So
he actually got to skip right into he actually got to skip and get right to the next mini game, which is the one for Dragon Forest, in which you collect bananas. And he has very specific routing for this, and he actually did lose his bananas, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're too slow. I was not prepared to do this minigame yet. I'm choking pretty hard.
Yeah, but...
Oh, almost got hit by another rocket.
So this is still a time save. He doesn't actually have to get the key. Well, no, do you still have to get the key?
You do have to get the key, but how this is time save is just overworld routing. So I don't have to come back to
Okay.
I don't have to come back to this mini game. And if I were to come here by car, which is like usually how you do it, the lobby of like this area is like it's like a grassy area, which makes you go really slow in the car. So you can travel to it faster in the plane. So that's why if we get Dragon Plane a second time, we'll drive to the mini game so that we don't have to drive through the grass in the car like later.
Yeah.
And this actually changes the Dragon Forest route. We would be going to Boulder Canyon usually, but because I got it again, we're actually going to go to Windmill Plains.
Mm-hmm.
And
So this is...
Oh no! I
did you go to
the wrong
Boulder?
thing.
Oh, no.
No, I should have went to Haunted Woods. My bad.
Okay.
I'm still in the trophy race.
Okay, so mainly what you want to do, being still in the trophy race, is you want to go and do the quickest track that you can, which is Haunted Woods. However, because he's in Haunted Windmill Plains, I get to explain the out of bounds, where he grabs as many bananas as he can, grab this boost, he'll go through the zipper and he will roll to the right there. He actually rolled to the right and got right in. This out of bounds is the trickiest to get, but it's also the trickiest to stay inside. He's following his checkpoints really well here. This section right here is actually pretty narrow to stay in bounds. So he's taking it as safe as he can here. He's keeping in bounds. Yeah, so he's just following checkpoints. That part there, he's gonna be going up a little bit more because actually you're a lot lower than the actual level of elevation that you need going into the part. Oh, so that was a false wrong way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So sometimes in that section you'll see a wrong way come up. That's actually a false wrong way. Here we go. He's just finishing the race up.
Okay, so yeah, I was supposed to go to Haunted Woods because that's the shortest track, but luckily I did get the out of bounds clip, so I still lost time. Haunted Woods is still shorter, but at least I got it. You guys just get to see the trick one extra time.
True. So he's actually gonna go back to Haunted Woods and do it again, and this will count towards his balloon.
Yeah, this is for the balloon race now.
Yeah, this is his balloon race.
So hopefully I get this again, otherwise I'll bring great shame to my family.
I don't think so.
This is the hardest trick in the game, by far.
Yeah, look, by far the hardest trick in this game. So let's see if he can get it again. And voila, he does get it. And the reason you actually want to be barrel rolling into it, well, number one, I think you actually have to barrel roll into it.
Yeah.
But he also wants to do it in a way that doesn't lose all his speed. So, because there's a possibility you clip out and then you just pretty much fall. And if you fall too low in and out of bounds, it can actually void you out to the start of the level and you'll actually lose that lap. Yeah. Which is a enormous time loss. Like, so here, and I'll explain the reason why this is actually pretty tricky out of bounds. It's because as you see in certain levels, the screen is loading and deloading very quickly. So you kind of just have to know where to go, and following your checkpoints. So and this part is actually a lot easier. He's actually gonna clip in bounds here, so he can get the cutscene skip. Usually,
yeah. So this is what I wanted to explain. You're now seeing the effects of Dragon Plane, where we did the boss race early. So typically what you do is you would you do the 4 balloon races, beat the boss, and then do the 4 coin challenges. but we actually already did the boss. So in that case, when you beat the balloon, when you do the balloon race, the coin race automatically unlocks. So what we can do is we can do like the standard cutscene skip, but instead of exiting to the lobby, we'll restart the race. And when we restart the race, it automatically throws us into the coin challenge.
Yeah. So you're gonna get to see him do that for every single track on here. He'll just restart the race right away if he gets the cutscene skip. Otherwise, he'll probably just drive backwards right back into the race.
So it'll waste a little time because there's more like driving in the overworld.
Yeah. Ideally, he just wants to get the cutscene skip all the time, and here he's actually just not gonna. He'll go for it, but he's not gonna restart. He's just gonna go into the lobby and go to the next track at that point.
Right. Oh, actually, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. He's going to get it. He's going to get the cutscene skip. Nice buffer. Exit to the lobby. And he's on to...
Greenwood Village.
Oh, Greenwood Village. Okay, cool. It took a little bit for me to load up. See, one thing about not having the Japanese version and kind of not having a good grasp on which tracks are where, for me, yeah. So he's probably going to go from here to Boulder Canyon and then to Haunted Woods.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So I use the shield here because usually on the second lap there's always going to be some junk in the way. There was actually no junk there, so I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah.
But it's always a good idea to grab the shield there.
Yeah. Sometimes on the third, sometimes there's also some junk right around the zipper. So if I guess you can kind of risk there not being junk on the second part. But also Greenwood Village is also a really cool track for car. It's actually one of the better. It's actually a really technical car track.
This is a great track, yeah.
It's a fantastic track. You'll see he's got a lot of counter drifting.
Oh, okay.
And everything. And then you'll see the coin challenge here. It's a little different. He's actually going to take there's actually another route within the log section that you can take. So he does that, he restarts, and now we're right into the coin challenge. All great time saves due to Dragon Plane.
Yeah, so if you're curious as to how much Dragon Plane actually saves, you can potentially save up to, I think it's 28 seconds or something like that.
Okay.
But you have to actually perform and get all the skips.
Yeah.
If you get none of the skips, you actually lose time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So you got to make it count.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So from here, he's gonna grab that coin, or he missed the coin, but he'll grab it on lap 3. He's gonna go through the log right here.
Okay, he's not drifting the way I want him to drift right now.
No, I can see that. And he's bonking around a lot. This, like, if you don't get the drift right, or if the game doesn't quite register your drift right, which can happen because he's using music, so the game is gonna be a little laggy on inputs possibly. So here we go. He's just gotta grab that coin. Yep, that section's really bumpy and really tricky. Luckily, the registration for hitboxes on things can either be really good in your favor or really bad in your favor. Like I've seen someone, I think it was even you, in a trophy race, literally phase right through a spike ball because of poor. And you did see there, it actually opened up, was that race 2 that it opened?
No, that's actually race 1.
No.
So that's why I turned around and went back to a race. When you get 4 balloons in a world, it automatically triggers that cutscene where you like go into the boss. But if I went into the boss and like beat it, nothing would happen because it's just the same race.
Yeah.
So you have to turn around there and just continue your races.
So he actually does Haunted Woods first. So I guess the routing is a little different than I said initially, but so he does do Haunted Woods next because of the fact that it triggers up the first race.
Yep.
So next, once he completes these next 4, to race 2 will open, he'll do race 2. Annoying CPU, get out of the way, please.
He's being rude.
Yeah, I know. The CPU is extremely rude unintentionally in this game. A 49 on Haunted Woods. Oh, and he gets the cutscene skip in the air. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm crushing it right now.
Yeah, he's doing really good. For a projected time of 2 hours, it's probably going to be... it's going to be quite a bit faster now because of Dragon Plane. And especially getting double Dragon Plane, which I would say most people might never get at all. In like a run, get Dragon Plane twice.
It's happened to me like twice ever, I think.
Yeah. So this is honestly probably the best, like luck-wise. This is like the best luck that Trident could have gone in a 100% run.
Yeah, the only thing that could have gone better is maybe like the tricky skip RNG,
Yeah.
but what can you do?
Yeah. Because we're in a marathon, we can't. Even in a normal run, like, it's not ideal to do that. But I mean, if you miss tricky enough, you can just reset because you're only in Dino. So, and just to explain why he's resetting there at the beginning is because the load-in screen is actually a lot slower than just changing up than just resetting the race. The transition's slower than resetting.
Yeah, when you go to a race for the first time, there's like a little cutscene that plays where it like pans around the racers. But once you can still access the menu at this time. So we actually just like restart the race, and then it makes the game think that we've like already been to this race before, so that we can just skip it. There's 2 races where we don't do this. It's actually like faster just to watch it, and those 2 tracks are Whale Bay and Snowball Valley. So, I wasn't using the menu to restart the race here.
Yeah.
But for every other race, it's faster to just restart instead of watching the camera pan around the racers at the beginning.
Yeah. And so this is Boulder Canyon, the last hover track in a trophy race scenario where you're doing all the trophies, but you're getting and he actually gets the key very nicely there. You actually do have to grab the key regardless of having finished the minigame.
Yeah. The reason for that is because the keys actually show up on the TT status screen. So in order for this to count as 100%, we need to grab all the keys.
Yes. And actually really nicely avoiding the log there. Boulder Canyon is a very fun hover track. It's my favorite hover track, and I think it's also... I'm not sure if it's your favorite as well, but...
Yeah, it's my favorite track. My favorite hover track, yeah.
A lot of players love Boulder Canyon more than like Pirate Lagoon or Whale Bay. And you'll also see here, he's going to boost, and he's actually going to take a side bonk there. Because the side bonk is a lot more forgiving on something like hover, he's going to actually go and take the bump there, and it's going to actually propel him forward, and it's actually going to save some time on the track doing so. So we're on to lap 2. He's going to go ahead and grab the last 2 silver coins on this lap, I assume. Oh, he doesn't quite get the bonk there, so you can see how much speed you lose doing that. Also, he's saving that boost until he actually gets to that point, because it actually helps save time where he's gonna be boosting up the hill and getting a nice bump, and he's actually gonna pop. Most likely, the best scenario is actually to go flying over into the water from this section right here. So he hits it, he grabs it, bonks off the wall, and it's actually really nice because the bonk put him in a good line. So, but sometimes if you get a really nice jump, you can actually fly all the way around the corner, which is really fun to watch. However, you don't want to be flying too much, because in hover, you actually will be losing speed when you're in the air as he completes Boulder Canyon, Silver Coin, and normal. So now he's going to have not only this cutscene where it opens up that, but he's also going to get the cutscene. It's actually going to move him to Smokey for Race 2. And then I believe after this, he's going to go to Dino Domain. He's going to reset and go to Dino Domain again.
Nope, Whizpig time.
No, Whizpig right away?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to do Whizpig.
Then Future
Okay,
Funland.
makes sense. Whizpig, Future Funland, come back, do a couple trophy races, and then go back and finish out Future.
Yep, that's it.
So, pretty much, this whole part is just absolutely crazy. You can tell, how well he knows the routing compared to, someone who doesn't run it like me. This routing in this game is absolutely different from how you would do a normal casual run through of the game. So after this, he does Smokey 2. He's gonna go and race Whizpig for the first time. Then then he's gonna have to do the. Wait, you can't go straight to Future Funland because you have to do this trophy race, right? Or did you already get it? No, you got it.
I already did.
What am I talking about?
What are you
my
talking
gosh.
about?
I am not thinking correctly, sorry. So he has all the trophies because he got the dragon skip. Because he got the dragon plane stuff.
This was actually a very good Dragon Force. I got
Yeah, honestly.
all three of the windmill planes out of bounds.
Mhm.
And I missed one cutscene skip, and the cutscene skip that I missed was the least important one. And someone pointed out that I got a really good key grab in Boulder Canyon. It was
I did. He did, yeah.
yeah, it was amazing. It usually doesn't
and
go like that.
And that bonk right there, if he didn't, he could have actually not crossed the finish line there and taken a big bump.
Yeah, that
but
would have
he
been bad time.
But he actually, instead of losing about 10 seconds, he actually gets a really nice finish there.
All right, so we're on the home stretch now, boys.
So we're gonna go race Whizpig. We're gonna go to Future Funland, and yeah, we're really getting towards the end of this run. So you see here, you get the Whizpig cutscene where his mouth opens, and you're able to drive through and go race him.
So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go talk to our buddy Taj and
Gonna go talk.
get in the plane
Yes.
so that we can actually fly in there.
Yep. So we're just gonna do some barrel rolls into this.
All right. And if you thought Frosty Village was a laggy mess,
Oh my gosh.
wait
this
till
is
you
awful.
see this race.
Yeah.
This race is
'Cause-
brutal.
Yeah, it is.
Boys and girls, yes.
Boys and girls, sorry, yes. Apologies. Yes, definitely. The interesting part about this is Whizpig is actually just running this. He's actually just running through the course while we're in a vehicle. The second Whizpig race is even more interesting than this one, with his choice of vehicle. But we'll get there. But we'll see it when we get there.
Okay, so happy with the first lap. 25
Yeah.
is nice.
25 is a very nice first lap.
If you take a swim here, it's devastating. It's
Oh my gosh.
so much time lost.
Yeah. So a big thing, especially in going into the little, I guess it's the second left type of turn that you have to take for drifting, you can pretty easily miss the far zipper. 225 laps is really ideal. You're not really going to be, unlike certain laps where you tend to save a little bit of time in every lap, you're probably not going to save quite as much on the Whizpig track, mainly because we're also driving over grass at certain points, and driving over gas is, a grassy area is really bad in car. Yeah, this level took me a long time to beat as well, and Trident just flies through it. That's pretty much 325 laps. And he's gonna reset here.
Yeah, you gotta wait until Wizpig throws his tantrum. But we reset here because after you beat Wizpig 1, there's like a cutscene and some mock credits, and we don't want to watch any of that crap. So we just reset the console. Luckily, it saves when at the start of that cutscene. So we're gonna talk to Taj again, get him in the plane, and now we're going to the last world of the game, Future Funland.
Which is Future Funland. So you're gonna see what he's gonna do is he's gonna drive over to the trophy race board. He's actually gonna tap it because that will trigger Future Funland. Yep. So he does it. So you'll see he's this neat little cutscene where he'll drive into the rocket or into the lighthouse. It appears to be a lighthouse. It actually opens up and becomes a rocket at this point, which I think is super fun. So from here on, we travel into space because Future Funland is the space tracks, and perhaps has the best music of all.
Maximum Funland, you are 100% correct, my friend.
So right. These tracks are super difficult. They're like a little bit more difficult than all the rest of the tracks, but they're so much fun.
This track is the hardest track in the game.
Yeah, this is Space Dust Alley, the most difficult track in the game. Not only is it a difficult track due to the vehicle you're using plane, but it's also difficult because there's so many little places to bonk. Each of the overhang door areas that like make it look nice, you can bonk on every single one of them. And bonking on plane, if I haven't mentioned already, loses at least 5 to 10 seconds, depending on how bad you bonk. And also you can also bonk into the asteroids and fall down and lose all your speed. Trident's actually having a pretty nice Space Dust Alley so far. So this track requires so much focus to do it like in a very speedy manner.
Oh, this was going so well.
Oh no, he missed. Okay,
I didn't
bonk.
I just missed balloons.
Yeah, he missed some balloons. So he didn't do the worst possible thing, but he certainly didn't do the best. Oh, and he did run into the electricity. So you see how quick.
All things considered, this was still really good.
Yeah, really good Space Dust. So when we do trophy races, when people go for PBs in trophy race, majority of the time they will start there on Space Dust. The reason you start here is because you can just keep restarting over and over. You can keep restarting the trophy race until you get a good Space Dust Alley.
Okay, so the way Future Funland works is very similar to Dragon Force when you get Dragon Plane, because there's no boss here. There's just like the final boss, which is Wizpig 2.
Oh, and fun note there, the water has no texture. It's just there for fun, so you can drive right through it.
So when we finish the race, we're going to try and get the cutscene skip, and then we can restart the race and immediately go into the coin race. Now, these are pretty important skips to get, because if you don't get the skip, you actually can't go back into the coin race, because it's actually going to be blocked by a coin, or not a coin door, balloon door, and we actually won't have enough balloons to access it, so we'll have to like route it in later, which obviously wastes time. Yeah. So we want to get as many of these restarts as possible so that we can not have to route these coin challenges in later.
Yeah. So we got him there. We got that one. That one's not quite as important. If you when you go into the coin challenge, if you miss the coin challenge one skip off of it, it's actually not quite as bad, just because you've already gotten the balloon at that point. But missing it off of the normal balloon race, like you said, changes your routing completely and loses quite a bit of time for it. But all things considered, he's Trident right on pace. He's actually doing really well. Yeah, after the fire and planes, we do carry on. He doesn't have to do another. He doesn't have to do another inbounds plane race. However, you do race Whizpig too. I call him Gizpig, because that's a little bit of a joke that we have in the community. Because of Giz, so similar to Whizpig, we call him Gizpig. But this is Dark Moon Caverns. This track is extremely bonk heavy if you don't do it if you aren't super careful. Even if you are super careful, you can still bonk. There's a fun fact here: going around the last zipper, ouch.
Yep.
At least you skid forward.
Yeah.
On it. So you did skid across the finish line, but losing a lot of time. But on all those craters that you see in the crater section, you can 100% just bonk on all of them. And
I got
forward
like a bit
bonking
of
on
an
those is
awkward
difficult.
bounce there.
Oh man. So he missed the balloon there, which is a bit difficult because of an awkward bounce.
Okay, so this cutscene skip's kind of difficult to get. Oh, okay. That one, it's
Oh my gosh.
it's weird. Like, you're kind of used to like pausing at a certain point when you cross the finish line, but I swear for this one it's different and it always like throws me off. Plus on top of that, if you don't get it the first try, it's like there's also a lot of lag around the finish line, so buffering it is like really hard too. So I usually miss that, but I'm really glad I got it.
So yeah. When you go,
Someone was asking what my PB is. My PB is 153.21.
Yeah. So honestly, all things considered, this is PB pace, most likely.
No,
Maybe
this is not PB pace. No.
This is not PB pace.
No,
No.
no, no.
Oh, okay.
This
I
is
wasn't sure.
this is on pace for a good time, but no, this is not PB pace.
Okay. I'm guessing you still got Double Dragon in your PB. One
No.
of those two. No.
I don't even know if
Oh.
I got Dragon actually, to be honest.
Okay, so you just might have. You were just racing really well that day.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you can just race everything really well and get your skips, you're gonna get a really good time. Like, he's not even on his PB pace, and we did get something that's insanely difficult to get, which is getting the Dragon Plane wrong warp twice. Getting it the first time can happen on a 10% chance. So you have to even multiply that by getting it a second time at a 10%. This is a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just to kind of put it in context, like, I'm pretty sure like the top 3 runs on the leaderboard don't even have Dragon Plane.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really save like that much time. It saves like I said, like only 28 seconds, and you have to like get all the cuts and skips.
Okay, so this is where the routing gets crazy, because he does the first 2 tracks, then he goes back to Dino, and he's gonna do the trophy race again, and he's gonna wrong warp out again. So this is to get the Future Funland trophy, because you do have to get the Future Funland trophy.
Yeah, you can't forget this, otherwise it's not 100%.
Yeah.
So, there's been some people who have like submitted their runs,
Doubt it.
but they forget to do this trophy race, and then we have to unfortunately reject their runs.
Yeah, which is not what you want, honestly, at all.
But the reason why we do those 2 tracks first and then come do this is because when
Longer tracks.
yeah, those 2 tracks are really long, and the track that we unlocked is actually the shortest track in Future Funland. So that's the track that we're going to use to get the Future Funland trophy.
And the reason that it's the shortest track is because there's an out of bounds trick, because it's Spaceport Alpha,
Correct.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have the Spaceport Alpha trick, I'm not sure exactly how you do it, because you don't have Star City at that point. Star City technically is the quickest.
Yes. So what you would do is if you can't do...
Or wrong. Well, actually, if you don't have that, you don't probably have wrong warp either. So you would just do it.
No, you do the wrong warp.
Oh.
Because you can do it...
For me not having it.
For you wouldn't be able to do it because it would crash on your version. But if you have the North American version 1.1, you can do the trophy storage glitch, but you can't do the Spaceport Alpha out of bounds clip. So what you would do in that case is you would do Spaceport Alpha before leaving Future Funland to unlock Star City, and then you do Star City. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so that's a 101 Fossil Canyon. That's really good.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I'm 1.1. I'm actually gonna test wrong. I'll test wrong warp and see.
Yeah, if you have the North American version and you want to try it out, there's a really simple way to tell which version you have. If you do the wrong warp and it crashes, you have 1.0. If it doesn't crash, you have 1.1.
So, this will be our last time, unfortunately, doing Dino Domain. Dino Domain is a very fun section. And you guys are probably all sick of seeing it by now.
I was just about to say.
But...
I almost went for a swim there.
But, yeah. I personally really like... Ooh. So that's not very good at all.
Yeah, that was pretty harsh spawn.
Yeah, I think that was 39 pace without it. Maybe even lower. So yeah, so this is the last time that we're gonna do the wrong warp. And from here we're just gonna fly to We're gonna fly from
Dragon
Forest.
Dragon Car. Okay, so unlike Dragon Plane, Dragon Plane is 10% chance. You can also get warped to the overworld, so like right here, like in this world. And that's also a 10% chance. But 80% of the time you'll go to Dragon Forest in the car.
Oh, so you'll actually get warped to right outside the level. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Someone was asking if I was in the tournament, and yes, I am in the tournament. I'm in the semifinals.
Yeah. So it's still going on right now. Actually, Giz and Toful are actually racing right now as we speak. Mrs. Gazamaluk and Toful are actually racing. They're all trophy race to see who goes to the semifinals.
Yeah, but don't watch that. Watch this.
No, yeah. Go watch that after we finish this.
Okay, so I got the clip there.
Yeah. So we did get the clip, which is Japanese exclusive, because the texture below that is actually not really there, in the Japanese version.
Yeah, it's really just an oversight. Like they just forgot to put a texture there. But in all the other versions, they put it in.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that Japanese version came out first, and then they realized it was there, so they patched it for all the other versions.
Yes, it came out. The Japanese version came out first.
Which is a thing that usually happens in video games. I think. Yeah. But so he finished Spaceport Alpha. He gets the Future Funland trophy. He's gonna go right back to Spaceport Alpha. I think he has to do it 2 more times now. He has to do it for the balloon race and for the coin challenge. So Spaceport Alpha is probably, depending on who you ask, it's either the easiest or the second easiest out of bounds that you can get in the game. Some people think, I personally think Hot Top is easier.
Yeah, Hot Top is by far easier.
Because there's quite a few ways you can mess up this, but we're not going to talk about that because we don't want to jinx anything. Beautiful entrance. He gets it the second time for the balloon race.
Yeah, the clip on this track is a little bit more difficult than Hot Top Volcano, but also navigating out of bounds is much more difficult than Hot Top Volcano. Not as hard as Windmill Plains, but it's definitely easier than Hot Top Volcano for sure.
Yeah, and there's actually, like, we're not doing all the out of bounds, but because some tracks don't use the required Okay, see, he clips there. Boom, he gets it. Beautiful. Restarts. Now he's in the coin challenge.
So there's
So
there's a strat here for the silver coins to actually get the first few silver coins, then go out of bounds on lap 1, and then come back in bounds in the middle of the 3rd lap to get the rest of them. But it doesn't save that much time, and I personally don't go for that strat, so I just do the whole first lap. I'll get the bananas and then like the coins.
So he's gonna get both bananas here.
Wow.
Both silver coins. And then he's gonna go out of bounds after that. Oh, he unfortunately misses. So he's gonna go back for it just because it's so much better that he gets it here, so he can get 2 laps of out of bounds. So it's better for him to do that than have him decide, oh, I'm just gonna go and do it in lap 3, because that's pretty much a waste of time at that point. So he gets those 2. And he gets out of bounds here. So now he's just gonna go for 2 laps. He's just gonna go through the out of bounds, and he's gonna clip in bounds right before, and he'll go ahead and grab the other. Oh man! Looks like we have a raid coming in from Versentia. Thank you so much for the raid, man. 210 people.
Dang.
So lap 3, we see that Trident goes here. He gets the skip. Welcome everybody. This is the Diddy Kong Racing 100% run. We're about 90 to 95% through.
We've got 3 races left. Like we're right at the end there.
Yeah. So the last 3 races is Star City Balloon, Star City Silver Coin, and Whizpig 2. And Trident got a really neat trick twice called Dragon Plane. If you guys want to watch the VOD later, there's probably gonna be a VOD for it. But this is pretty awesome run. So yeah, Star City's pretty neat kart track. There's a little bit of difficulty here for staying on the bridge. Like, I wouldn't say it's the most difficult thing to avoid, but if you go too fast, turn and everything, you're gonna get some pretty bad RNG there. Oh man,
that oil slick.
The oil slick is pretty bad.
Yeah, there was no avoiding that. That was like right in the dead center of the track.
Yeah. And coming up, we're still in the middle of this race, but just a scheduling note, coming up is going to be Sonic the Hedgehog 8.
Wow, okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog 6, by Final Flame. So that's going to be pretty neat. Sonic the Hedgehog games are all pretty neat. So maybe not the desired Star City time, but he did get the cut skip.
Yeah, I'm one cutscene skip away from getting all of the cutscene skips here in Future Funland, which would make this a very good Future Funland.
Yeah. So this is the final Silver Coin Challenge of Diddy Kong Racing. Oh man, some good maneuvering to be able to grab that, grab the zipper there. That's usually you just kind of drift right into it, as you saw in the balloon race. Oh man. Okay. So he just needs to get one more silver coin, and then he can finish it out from there.
Oh, that was a little awkward.
So he did get it, a little awkwardly, but at least he got it.
Hello? Okay, alright. Maybe it's a good thing I saved my boost then. Well, actually, I didn't really intend to save it. I pressed Z and nothing happened, so... That's great.
Yeah. So...
Everything's falling apart here.
Oh man, missing a couple boosts. That's... The usual time you want to get on Star City.
Oh, come on.
I guess it's about like a 114, 115.
Okay, this run needs to be done.
Oh man. Okay. So at least this is the last kart track. At least this is the last race besides Whizpig. And the Whizpig race actually has an out of bounds. So we did get So we got about 10 bits from Ahoy Chinese Food. No reason, have some bits. Thank you so much for those bits. And thank you to all you guys for watching Retrothon. This is a pretty neat event. So as we approach the final race here of DKR, which is WizPig 2, you're gonna see him go for you're gonna see Trident do one last out of bounds trick.
Yeah, we're hopefully gonna finish with a bang.
Yes. So time is going to end when he crosses the finish line on lap 3, I assume. Correct?
Yeah, but I got it. I got it.
Yeah. So Trident has the timer, and he'll get the timer to get it. I actually found a lot of difficulty myself just personally finishing this on my own. Oh man, so
I'm just gonna restart.
So at that point you just restart the race. Because it's way less of a time save, way more of a time lost if you actually run the race versus just boosting out of bounds and going for it a second time.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
My worst nightmare is being realized right now.
It is, yeah,
I
but
failed you all.
this is actually this looks like a pretty difficult clip, honestly.
It's really not, I'm just bad.
Oh, really? Okay. You predict an awesome run? Yeah.
Okay, where am I now? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I?
Okay.
Okay, I had no clue where I was. The screen wasn't loading.
So the screen's not actually loading, so he actually voided up. He actually went too far down apparently, and he voided.
Yeah.
So he did get the clip there. The clip seems to be pretty easy, according to Trident. I actually have never personally tried for it yet. This has been a really solid.
Okay,
run so
this is
far.
what is supposed to happen.
Okay.
This is better.
So here we go. This is exactly what's supposed to happen. He's just gonna clip, and the screen's gonna keep loading and deloading. What was happening was he actually must have gone to a point where he got very low, so the screen wasn't loading in for him. And what he's actually doing here is he's just following his mini-map, but also looking for certain clues and keys as he's racing. And at this point, he's just going to be going towards those asteroids, because you can actually still see the asteroids for the beginning of the lap here. As you can see, WizPig's just getting through on his lap 2 at that point, but we're already on lap 3 because of the out of bounds glitch. So we're going to be coming up on time here. It's going to be right about 1:57, a little more than that.
All right, nobody saw that. Nobody saw me mess that up 3 times. Oh wait, did I?
So he finished with a 1:57.07, which honestly, really good. So the timer says 1:57.14, but he actually crossed the finish line at 1:57.07.
Yeah.
Whew.
A little bummed that I let you guys down on the last race, but oh well.
But 3 minutes ahead of the estimated time, pretty dang good.
Yeah, no, that's always good.
Yeah.
I haven't really been playing a lot of 100%. I've been focusing more on all trophy races because of the tournament.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mess what up? Exactly.
Exactly, Rob.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, he knows it. He or she knows what's going on. Yeah, GG guys.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that.
Oh, we get to see the cutscene here. Instead of WizPig's head in the final cutscene, you'll actually see that Taj's head has replaced WizPig's head. And also in your first run through, at this point, I think it's at this point, you'll actually be able to have unlock. There will be a little frog that'll have like a little chicken-looking thing, and that's how you unlock Drumstick.
So yeah, kind of just want to quickly shout out the DKR Discord. There's a lot of activity going on right now because of the tournament and stuff. A lot of people getting into the game. It's a lot of fun to run. So if you are at all interested in picking this game up, I recommend joining the Discord. And yeah, go have some fun. Play this game. It's really good.
Definitely.
And also thank you to Dr. Fish for helping me out on commentary, because if I had to do it by myself, we might not have made Estimate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the cutscene is really cool. You actually get to see Timber riding on Smokey there. That's pretty neat. The cute little Triceratops family.
Alright, so that's going to be it for us. Again, thank you so much for watching. Good luck to the rest of the runners in Retrothon. I hope your runs go great. And yeah, I'll see you guys maybe another time. Have a good one.
Everyone have a good one.